Hey guys, it's Teacher Alicia and I brought my awesome sidekick, Cora Lynn. She's here with me today and we have a fun, very unique craft to do today together and I'm excited to show you. You can probably spy it maybe behind my head here or between our heads here. You see it there? Da, 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 da. We have this little cute hanging star. I'm calling it a mobile. I don't know if that's really what it needs to be called, but that's just what we'll call it. So it's a star mobile and it's hard for you to probably tell on top there, it's made with a stick, similar to this one that it's hanging off of. So I just thought it was really fun because here's the reason I chose this craft for today. We're starting this month, we'll be talking about creativity and how God made us to be creative. And so the first thing in our story today, it talks about creation. And I'm sure some of you have even heard this story prior to today, but it talks about how God created our world. And when I think about our world, the thing that I'm always amazed by that looks the largest, and at least I think the largest, is the sky. When you look up and you look around, it's like it spans the whole, everywhere above you. Everything above you is the sky. And so I wanted to pick a craft because I feel like that represents just how big God is. He created our whole world, including the sky, and that's pretty amazing. So I wanted to do a craft today that represented the sky. And of course, when I think of the sky, I think of stars, right? So we're gonna make this star mobile. The thing that is really fun about it is that it's hard to tell. Can you tell in the picture? I don't know. But I made it with painted cardstock. So what I do first is I paint the cardstock, then we cut it out as a star. And so even the stars themselves look like the sky. So it's kind of like this brushed sunset, sunrise, pretty sky color. And you'll get to see that closer in just a minute. But let's talk first about supplies you will need for this. So first thing you need to do is you need to go on a treasure hunt outside. And so Cora and I went outside in our backyard this morning and look at what we found. That stick that she just said something flying off our table. I'll hold it while you grab that. Our stick that we're gonna use for this one. So this is probably like 14 inches long. I would say if you could find a stick that's at least 12, it'll work great for this project. And I kind of wanted one that was thick looking like this. So, and it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. See, ours has like a little bend to it. So you'll want a stick from your yard or someplace. You will also need white cardstock, which I don't actually have here at the moment. We'll have to get that. We need our white cardstock. So white cardstock. Then you will need some paint colors. Another thing, if you don't have white cardstock, any color of cardstock will work for this. And if you don't have paint, same thing, you could use colored cardstock instead of the painted white cardstock that we're gonna do. Either will work, but I always have plenty of paints around, and so we're gonna be using this pink and purple one today. And then I have some glitter here that we're gonna use on that as well too. You will also need some yarn because this is what we're gonna use to hang the stars off of the stick. So you'll need yarn. You will need tape. That will just make your life easier as far as getting those attached on there. And then I also have, of course, here, scissors, pencil for some tracing. And then I had a hole punch. So if you have a hole punch, that will be handy to get the last star on there. And then Cora's gonna show you, I call these pony beads. I don't know if that's really what they're called, but we had some of these already. If you don't have these, that's not a big deal. It's kind of optional, but I added them to the bottom and I will show you that closer in just a minute. Actually, maybe Cora, will you grab that for us? So I added them to the bottom just to give it a little bit of weight. You could probably do it without it. So Cora's gonna get it and bring it carefully over here. So I'm gonna show you, you can see how I did like at the bottom here. This is the bottom star, and then I had some pony beads that I did at the bottom just to kind of weight it down. And then the rest of them are just taped on there. So it'll be really easy to assemble. Let's set that here for a second. Okay, and then I also happen to have, and I know most people don't always have all these craft supplies, I happen to have some stencils that were all star shaped. So that's what I'm gonna use today. If you don't have that, you can do a simple, star, a regular star, and then cut that out on the back of your paper. That won't really show at the end. So, okay, so first step is we gotta paint our white cardstock. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so for this step, what we're going to be doing is painting this paper so that we can have this then prepped to cut them out into the star shapes. And I thought it'd be fun to do painting because then you can do fun blends of different colors and stuff. So what you're going to want for this part is you're going to have your piece of cardstock, just your white piece of cardstock like this. I have a paper towel underneath because you will be brushing like this motion, and I don't want you to end up going off of the paper onto your tabletop. So you'll want to make sure your table is protected. So have something underneath it. You will need your paintbrush. A good big one is always nice if you have it. A thicker one will work best. And then I have 2 colors selected. You could do however many you want, but just be thinking about how those colors blend because they'll mix together as you're working on this. Then the last thing I have here is glitter. So I have this, I'll sprinkle the glitter onto the paper when it's wet, when the paint is still wet, and then that way it'll stick to it kind of like glue. So let me show you how to do this. So first of all, you're gonna take your paint color. This is, I just wanna make sure it's all shaken up here and blended. Okay, so it has a top like this. So I'm just gonna be dabbing all over this paper with this paint, and it doesn't have to be any sort of like pattern. It just needs to be kind of randomly on here. So I'm just gonna spread them around, and we'll be using our paintbrush to spread this. So you'll wanna just do dollops. Doesn't need to be anything too calculated. This one doesn't have that squeeze top, so I'm just gonna kind of shake and dab a few here, and then I will show you. You don't want to end up with too much paint. Just be careful you're not overdoing it, because you don't want to end up having your paper so wet at the end of it that it soaks all through. So it's best just to start out with a little bit. If you need to add more, you always can add more. So, okay, so what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start brushing over this really lightly. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you how this goes. So you just kind of do this motion. Again, you're just doing it really lightly, and it kind of creates like a sky feel, how the sky when there's like a sunset or something is streaky looking like this. So the idea that we're kind of going for here is that we want those streaks of the purple mixed in with the pink and all that. And I actually really like that the white pops in there too. So I'm gonna kind of get to the edges to make sure so we have plenty of room for when we do our cutting of the stars. And if you want if you want to add any others, you can at this point. I like how it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you how to put your glitter on there. So now you're gonna take your glitter, and I'm just gonna, oh, it's not open here. I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over lightly over the whole thing. And that's gonna stick to it kind of like it would if it was glue, so because it's still wet. Okay, so that's it. That part is super simple. I'm gonna go put this in the sunshine and it will dry that way. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we just grabbed these from the sunshine. They have been drying out there. So Cora, hold up yours, you can see. So that's the one with the purple and the pink and the glitters on there. You can see it there, how it's like so streaky and pretty. I just love even the look of these alone. They're so fun. This is the one I did earlier, and it has a blue background, and you can hardly even know that that was the case. And so that's what I was saying. You can use colored cardstock instead of white if you don't have it. Or if you don't even have the paints to go with it, you could just do plain cardstock as your stars. So this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take these now that they're painted and dried and ready for us. We are going to use the back side of them, and we're gonna trace our stars. So I'm just gonna use my handy dandy stencil. If you don't have that, again, you can just do a star. I'll show you what I mean by draw a star. You could just do, this is not the best representation, but you could do a star like that, and then you just cut the outer parts of it. I kind of did a bit of a wonky. Anyway, you get the idea. You can create your own stars, and you could even, another option would be to cut out one and then use that as your stencil to go all the way around. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna get busy tracing all of these stars. We're gonna fill our whole paper with stars that are traced, and then we'll have to cut them at the end here in a second. Okay, so have fun doing your tracing. Okay, so Cora has her page all filled up with the stars. I got started with some of that too. I'm gonna keep working on that. But now she's ready to cut. And so she's gonna just cut. I forgot to mention previously, when we did this sample one, I did bigger stars for the bottom and then it's smaller stars going up. So we cut a couple that were larger and then a bunch of little ones to go on the upper part. So you can do that too, or you can do it however you want. So, okay, get busy doing your cutting. We'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so we have all of our stars now are cut out. We have our, we're gonna do our mobile with two different colors. So one had the purple and the pink, and this one was kind of like purple, coral and blue. So we'll alternate them. So what you'll wanna do is you'll wanna find your big ones. We're gonna do 5 strings hanging down. So each of our strings is gonna have a big one at the bottom, and then we'll do our pony beads, and then we'll attach it, and then I'll show you attaching a few little ones on the strings going up. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna use the hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole into, let's flip it over, the top. So you can see how, mine's kind of a square rectangle hole punch. It's kind of, but round ones will work fine too. So we have a hole punch in there. Oh, we're gonna just do it on the big ones. Yeah, so Cora's gonna get hole punches into the tops of all of these ones. So the next thing, while she's working on that, I have already pre-cut my yarn, and you would probably just want to go ahead and do the same. So I have, again, 5 of these. These are all probably just about 2 to 3 feet long. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of your big stars with its hole punch in there, and you're going to thread your yarn through there and get it all through, okay? So then I just am gonna tie a simple knot at the top here. So then that will hold the pony beads on there when you have it like this. So let me get the knot tied and I'll show you. See, it's just at the top there. See, it's a simple knot. And then I'm gonna cut off this little tail here because we don't need that now that we've got our knot tied. And Cora, what color pony beads are we gonna put on here? So we have some to choose from. We'll see what fun ones. So I put 3 on each, and I kind of rotated colors. Let's see what Cora picks out here. She's got all kinds of options. Okay, so she's gonna get the pony beads picked out, and I'm gonna keep working on threading this here. Okay, so she picked out a purple, so I'm gonna put the purple on first. It's a purple, and then it goes pink, and then back to purple. So we just put, again, 3 pony beads on each strand. So she's gonna get them all picked out because we'll have 5 total to do of these. I always pick like an odd number. So I do 5 strands because I just think odd typically in this type of stuff looks better than an even number would look. Okay, so now you can see how it's my star with my pony beads there, and then it's ready. We'll attach this to the top or to the branch, the stick, and then we will just use tape to put the little ones on. You could hole punch them and thread them through that way too if you don't want to use tape. That's another option. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna get all of our, I think actually, you guys, let's show you how you will attach it here, and then we'll get busy assembling and we can show you at the end how it all comes together. So Cora, can you do me a favor and hold it like this? We'll use this as our guide. So this will be one that's not centered actually. It'll go probably like here. So I'm just going to go here with my string, and I'm just gonna tie a knot like so. And then again, I'm just gonna cut off this part once I get it tied, and then Cora can hold it up and show you. So see how that's on there, and then we will work in a minute on just taping probably 2 more on here, one spaced out and then one up higher. And then I'm gonna get all of them probably on there and then work on the little ones. So we're gonna get busy doing that. You can work on yours. Okay, so we have all of our strands on here now, and then we can just attach the little ones. Cora says this actually looks cute just like it is, which it does. So if you don't even want to do all the little ones on there, you don't have to. But Cora, can you hold this for me for a second? And I'm gonna show our friends just quickly how. So all I am gonna do is just get a little piece of tape on my finger here, and then I'm just gonna tape the backs of these onto there. Like that, and then keep going. I like alternating the colors. So I'm just gonna alternate the colors, and they will spin a little bit. So one thing I found, you could double up on like what you do. Like, so this one, I could put another one on the back, but actually the cool thing is that has the blue on the back, so that's not as obvious that it's spinning. But if you don't want them showing, you could just attach then another star to the back. So if you used the same template, it should just fit on there, but I actually don't mind the white showing too. I think it looks fine that way. So yep, I'm just gonna fill them all in here, and I like to make sure they're all different heights. So see how I put that one a little taller than the other one, so it'll just keep working its way. Hope I can't see what's going on here. Go this way a little bit. It's tangling up. This is the tricky part. You do need help with this because it's gonna want to, or the other option is I laid it onto a countertop or a table and kind of worked with it that way when I was doing one earlier, the sample one. All right, so almost, I have one more here to do. And then we can show you the finished product. So fun. And then this is like the perfect thing to just hang in your room. And remember how big God is, because he created everything. He created the sky. So there's our finished mobile. Isn't that so cute and fun? And we're just covered in glitter and all the fun things. So there you have it. So I hope you guys have fun making this. It's a fun way to be creative, and you can do a lot of different things. If you didn't even want to do the star shapes, you could always do something different. Circles would be fine, or whatever you want. The sky's the limit. It's so awesome. So, all right, we love you. We miss you. Have a great week. Bye.